How y'all feeling? Hey, y'all look good. Y'all look good. So I'm gonna let y'all know what I'm gonna do because y'all are into a lot of different things. Y'all follow me for a lot of different reasons, and so I want you to know the people that influence me, have influenced me. So I do teach people that the name should be a business, right? But but don't a business need to get money? So that's why I brought Kenny. So he's a business. I learned when I first started learning how to like independent contracting stuff like that. Like that, he was one person that we had to watch, and then people would act like they knew him and didn't know him. But I just want to throw that out there. And then my guy Bags over there, I brought him in the building. He does business. He knows some of that private life too. He showed his nationality card. I didn't even know he had that. And then I brought my man Cheap, man. Everybody in here that follows me, y'all gonna resonate with him. So that's just what it is, man. So like there's just a lot of missing links that I think that you need to know that might help you understand truly what you think the government is. I mean, the government's not good, it's not bad. It's in place, it's a system. It's in place for a reason. But I mean, if you're either in the public or you're in private. And so this man happens to be in the public, and people don't know that he is unplugged really from the matrix. I don't know how else to put that. So I'm just, yeah. So like literally, yeah, he knows how to operate in the public like you're supposed to. I mean, what I'm trying to teach y'all, but sometimes you need to hear it in a different way, man. But so I'm gonna get started with Kenny, man. You got a mic check, mic check. Hey, how can we follow you on Instagram, TikTok?
Yeah, yeah, on TikTok it's funny salesman. On Instagram it's funny salesman. On Snapchat, everywhere it's funny salesman. YouTube. So I'm all over the web like a tarantula. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start. How everybody doing? My name Kenny Brooks. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a door-to-door salesman since I was like 12 years old. So I basically got into sales because one day I woke up. I went from like 4'9" to like 5'6". I was hanging out the bed. I thought my mama bought me a brand new bed, but come to find out it wasn't. I had a growth spurt. So I mean, I'm from Detroit where you like a product of your environment. And if you ain't led the right way, like I seen my mom, she took care of 6 kids by herself. So we struggled a lot, you feel me? But one thing my mama taught me was the hustle. She like whenever she knew how to fake it till she make it. So I had to get it how I live. Like no matter whether I was going to hit licks, going like pumping people gas at the gas station, talking, because I was class clown. Like I was like the black sheep of my family. So I remember I was stealing out the gas station one day and they ended up locking the gas station on me and my siblings. And I ended up going to jail. They told on me because I was the oldest person. So I had like 5 or 6 nines in my family. They all snitched on me. So anyway, I went to jail at like 12. No, this is true story. I went to jail at like 12 years old. And when my mama came and picked me up, she was like, "You steal one more time, I'm gonna put you in the boys' home." But I knew she wasn't gonna do it. She just did it. And that's crazy because like I was born in the 80s and like now I got 10 kids. They like eating, I love feeding them. And they don't have to go through what I went through, but it's just funny like how my mom used to show us tough love and like you can't really give your kids tough love because it's like this generation now, you really like mental health is an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Like the music, it start with like the music you listen to, the people that influence you. Because when I grew up, I was listening to like Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas, and I was listening to people that was talking about going to get some money and coming from struggle. Now you got the Juice WRLDs, the NBA young boys, you got people that talk about popping mollies and pills all day and want to kill themselves. And I got a daughter like I'm successful. I'm a successful black man, and my daughter don't love herself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you and it comes from me being on the road because don't get it twisted. I've been on. I like I tell people all the time. I was in door to door for like basically my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like all my kids go door to door. I got 10 of them. I got a 19-year-old to a 2-year-old. Even my 2-year-old, she gonna take her big wheel when I get back home and go door to door because like she a terrible too. But like all my kids love door to door and like door to door saved my life because I didn't never know growing up. When we had career day, I'm in school and my teacher like, what you want to be when you grow up? I'm thinking I'm going to the NBA, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna be like a businessman. But I never raised my hand and said, I'm gonna be a door-to-door salesman. Like that was never in my agenda. But it's the price you pay for the life you chose. So anyway, I ended up getting locked up at 12 years old. And my cousin got me this door-to-door job. We both went door-to-door together. Like we was selling like Detroit News and Free Press, but we was going to like the suburbs, you know what I'm saying? And I remember like my first day out, like T Grizzly, I went and knocked on this dude's door. We work in the white area, and this white dude just came out and started cussing us out. You feel me? One was carrying a big wheel, not big wheel. I'm stuck on big wheel. Well, we had like a yellow wagon. I don't know if y'all remember like the paper out back in the day, but one was carrying a wagon, the other one's throwing paper. We throwing papers we threw it at the wrong house. This dude come out cussing us out, and it's crazy because like your perception is your reality. Now, I'm from Detroit. I got my coworker with me. We both from Detroit. We both little black kids trying to, make some money. And this dude started cussing us out. And the first thing we thought, I'm like, this dude racist because he was white. So he's like, get the hell off my property. Whatever you selling, I don't want. I'm about to call the police. I'm talking about just went ham. And I was like, sir, can I ask you one question? I was like, you got kids? He was like, yeah. I was like, if two of your kids was playing and one broke the glass, would you spank both of them? He was like, no. I was like, well, I'm sorry about the bad performance. Let me just call my stupid advisor and we gonna make it up to you. We gonna upgrade you like Beyonce. So anyway, I said that one little joke and he started laughing, and then somehow he just ended up apologizing. And I wasn't even a salesperson yet. I was a paper route boy, and we end up upgrading like Beyonce for real. He went from being mad at us, cussing us out, to like buying like a year subscription. And he even said he went out and slammed the door like mad, like you could hear him like soon as he, God damn it, they done sold us again. Like, so he had like a year subscription. So anyway, the company ended up making me like a door-to-door salesperson. I had a paper route, but I became a door-to-door salesperson at 12 years old. And that's when I found out, besides actors and entertainers, the highest paid people in the world was salespeople. Because I remember when I first told my mom that I was going to be a door-to-door salesperson, she was like, no, you're not. You ain't knocking on nobody's door. They're going to kidnap you. They're going to snatch you in the house. They're going to, you know what I'm saying? Then she saw my first paycheck. I made like $400 my first week. 12 years old, I was making more money than her. She was like, no, keep doing it, keep doing it. Now you can pay the phone bill, you can pay the gas bill, you can pay you know what I'm saying? So that's how I went. But I ended up doing that for like 2 years straight until like I turned like 18. My mom ended up putting me out because I had dropped out my senior year in high school because my grandmother had died and she was like real close to me. And that was like really my why. Because when my grandmother passed away, I was depressed and everything. I didn't want to go to school or anything, and I just dropped out. And then I ended up getting another door-to-door job. It was a traveling selling like the cleaning product, like where I went viral. I had ended up getting that job, and I ended up doing that for like a couple years. But I was reading a lot of books. That's what really like molded me into the person I am today. I was reading like Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends, Influence People, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was reading a lot of books because I remember they said if you want to have something from a dummy, put it in a book. And then I just became stronger than the Holy Ghost mentally. I was telling people that I would never punch a clock unless I swung on Flavor Flav, because I always wanted to work for myself, because like I tell people all the time, I'm not a prostitute, but I know how to sell myself because I know how to love me first. Once I love me, then I'm gonna have the whole world love me. And that's what I be preaching to everybody that's listening to me, that's been watching me for years, even my kids, because like my why was my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? That's why I even went back to doors, because my grandmother was the only one that was in my family that really believed in me. And sometimes you need that. You need that person to push you to extra, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have dropped out, I could have been home, I could have I could have been depressed and everything, but I knew that my grandmother, she gone, she in a better place, but she believed in something that the world didn't even know about. And that's why, like now as we speak today, I got Timberland. Everybody probably know Timberland, like the music producer, he my manager. You know, I got a TV show coming out with my kids. I just got through filming 2 movies before I came here, one with Jim Jones, one with T.I. Like I'm going on Joe Rogan next month. I got all of this stuff going on, and I was a homeless door-to-door salesperson just 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I went viral 2010. I ain't found out to 2017. I ain't get on social media to 2019. I ain't start making no money to 2020. I ain't meet Timberland to 2021. You see how everything just start happening? Because the key is not giving up. If you're going to quit anything, you should quit lying, quit cheating, quit stealing, but don't quit on yourself. And that's all I got to say.
That's it, man. That's it, man. I just want to say, I'm not going to disclose his personal information, but he is from Detroit. I don't know if y'all been there. As soon as I go there, I want to come back. I was in Chicago and flew to Detroit, and I said I'd rather be back in Chicago. And that's Chirac, baby. You know what I'm saying? But he is a multimillionaire. just right, multi-millionaire. So just want to throw that out there, man.
Off social media and like off of this, that's the key. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to build you got to build a brand. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, if little kids can make money, like my kids love the Ryan and I forgot the little thing that come on TV. Y'all probably know if y'all got little kids. My daughter, I'll be buying her. I don't even know what's the name of it right now. It's the little, I forgot what it is, but they built the brand. You know what I'm saying? I see Ryan at Target, Kmart. I know y'all know the little Ryan dude. He about 15 now, but he been rich since he was 4 years old.
I'm lost.
All off YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, when you could turn like your followers into dollars, first you just got to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get on social media. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like social media is the gift and the curse, because it's like, it made people lazy. Technology back in the day, I remember like I couldn't go on social media and find out how to say my ABCs. You know what I mean? Like, you really, like, it ain't no excuse how people can be slow these days. If you had a brain, you'll be dangerous, because everything is on social media. Everything is on your phone. Like, you could do anything you put your mind to, but it start with just doing it, like Nike. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. You just got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like my grandmother told me this a long time ago. She said it ain't your fault if you was born poor, but if you over the age of 18 and you die poor, that's your fault, because you had something to do with that. So that's like every day I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. I don't care if I just like with these guys, I'm learning something new from them. You feel me? But that's the blessing about being in this type of atmosphere and being around this type of circle, because like I'll allow myself to like stay humble, stay blessed, always giving out information, always trying to inspire. Like a lot of my videos, I do a lot of comedy with my videos, but I also got the other side of me where on a podcast, I'm talking about how I saved this lady life, how I knocked on a racist door and they called me the N-word. Get off my porch, nigger. I said, what that nigga at? He owe me $5. He bust out laughing. I ended up cleaning the spot and he ended up buying. You feel me? It went viral on Cam Newton podcast. True story. I swear to God, I'm writing a whole TV show about it called Door to Door Chronicles. Then, like after I sold this dude, I'm talking about true story. I'm working Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. If y'all ever been to Idaho, don't go there if you got a suntan. It's over with. I was knocking on doors like, yeah, I'm the KKK. Don't shoot the cool color kid. You know what I'm saying? Because they really was on that. You know what I'm saying? The blonde hair and blue eyes, the little Aryan nation. They wasn't playing no games. I swear to God, dude was like, I'll buy some of that nigger juice. He said, look, I want you to go knock on my neighbor door and leave my nigger juice on the sidewalk. As soon as you knock on my neighbor door, I'm going to pick my nigger juice up and leave your $40. I went and knocked on his neighbor door. I came back. My $40 was there. He took that nigger juice. I said, oh, y'all want to play like this? So I go to the next door. I said, I saw this little white girl. I said, excuse me, can you tell your mommy there's a nigger at the door? She running like, mommy, there's a nigger at the door. Her mama run outside, saw me and slapped her. She was like, oh my God, why did you say that? She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. We just moved in this neighborhood. We are not like that. What can I do to make this up to you? I said, it's just $40. And she ended up buying my product. And that's a true story. But tough times don't last, tough people do. You know what I'm saying? When you're in Rome, do as a Roman. Like, I already know if I was in Detroit, I wouldn't be this way. So I learned how to fake it till I make it, because I learned that from my mom. I learned how to train myself how to stay humble and how to stay motivated. You know what I'm saying? When everything else fails, enthusiasm sells. I'm going to sell my way through the planet. You feel me? Because like they said, you give a person a fish you can eat for a day. You teach them how to fish, you can feed them for the lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And that's why all my kids, they don't even depend on me. They do their own thing because they saw they dad. I led by example. Sometimes you can follow somebody to a restaurant and still starve. You follow the wrong leader. So I had to make sure I got too many people watching me, even Stevie Wonder. So I know that I got to do the right thing like Spike Lee. Because you never know who out there. You might get this person that just woke up and he lost both his parents and he probably want to kill himself. That's why I got an episode called Suicide, where I knocked on this lady door. It was raining. True story. And I had like 5 guys with me. I ain't talking about the burger place. I just had like 5 dudes. I was training them, but they ain't want to knock on doors because it was raining. They like, man, you make this look so easy, man. Look, come on. So I was like, come on, follow me like Twitter. I said, look, pick out any, because like one thing that door to door taught me is confidence. You got to have confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned, and they were just asking me like, what's the difference between you selling and somebody that never did sell? See, I learned how to sell at 12 years old. Because when you a young kid, you got that imagination. When we get older, we forget about the imagination. I remember my kids be talking, I'm going to jump on the moon and I'm going to fly on this car and I'm going to do, like when you kids, remember we used to pick out cars like Jay-Z was saying, oh, that's my car. My kids still be saying, oh, that's my Lamborghini. That's, you know what I'm saying? Because we got that imagination. When you get old, they be like, that ain't my damn car. You know what I'm saying? We get all sour and washed up and confused. You know what I'm saying? We don't have them goals no more. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I learned at 12 years old how to protect my confidence build by just doing it. You know what I mean? Because I was doing stuff what people didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? People didn't want to go knock on doors. They was too cool for that. They in Detroit. They want to rob, steal, and kill. No, I'm gonna be the cool one. I'm gonna be like Kanye West. I'm the college dropout. I'm gonna go ahead and do the right thing. I'm gonna do what it takes. And now I got everybody following me. But this the thing though, right? So I knocked on this lady door. It's raining because they picked out this little dark, gloomy house.
Hey,
I guess
rainy days are high days.
Yeah, facts. See, See, they didn't know that though. You feel me? They didn't know that. And I tell people all the time, like when I knock on their door and it's raining, I say, look, man, I'm not looking for sympathy. It's in the dictionary right next to syphilis and symptoms. I'm just looking for opportunity. So you just hear me out before you throw me out. You're gonna be impressed. Because I let them know, like, look, even a dummy know to buckle up. And even Jesus didn't tell everybody, who am I? So either you're gonna hear me out or throw me out. That's your fault. You're gonna miss out. Like Shaq at the free throw line, not me. Because, you know, I like Biggie Small. That's one of my favorite rappers. He said, you want to see the inside? I'll see you later. All these people, I got to fight one. All these girls, I got to like one. So I already know all these people, I'm going to sell somebody. I'm going to sell my way through this whole life. If you don't like me, you missed out. You feel me? That's my attitude. I care if you buy, but I really don't care if you don't buy because I know I'm doing good, getting better. So anyway, they pointed out this house, right? And it was a dark, gloomy house. The lady come outside because, you know, we in like Medford, Oregon. Because we went state to state. We go state to state. We go to Utah. We go to Colorado. We go to Iowa. We go everywhere. Anyway, so we in a rainy like state, like, and they say it's like a depressed state in like Oregon because it rained like 60, 70% of the year. So anyway, I got my team and they was like negative. They was drained. They was mentally out of there. They was wet and they had no sales. So they picked this gloomy house. So I knock on the lady door. Lady comes straight out cussing me out. I didn't even know that my coworkers already knocked on her door already, right? She come out like, you the fifth person that knocked on my door. I'm about to call the police. I'm sick and tired of y'all knocking on my door. She just started cussing us out. I said, ma'am, you know what? Sorry to bother you. Jesus didn't sell everybody. We're going to see you around like a donut. That's all I said. I said, Jesus didn't sell everybody. We're going to see her around like a donut. She started laughing, right? But when she laughed, like a tear dropped to her eye. So I could see like she was going through something because the eyes is a window to the soul. See, one thing I learned when I'm selling somebody, I don't never try to push the product down their throat. I try to make their friend first because I learned that from Zig Ziglar. He said, first you got to sell the sizzle, they're going to buy the steak. So anyway, I end up like, I seen this lady was going through something, so I backed off for a little bit. You know what I mean? I said, well, look, I'm going to see you around like a donut. Jesus didn't sell everybody. She was like, what did you say to me? I was like, I'm going to see you around like a donut. Jesus didn't sell everybody. And then she was like, you a Christian? I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, you know what? I apologize for going off on you and your friends. She was like, today's just not my day. I just got bad news before y'all knocked on my door that I just lost my son in a car accident. And I was like, well, a moment of silence for you and your son. My apologies. So we did like a moment of silence for like 1 minute. And then I was about to leave, right? So then she was like, so what are y'all out here doing? And I got back in sales mode when she said that. Like everything, I thought you never asked. You see the spot right here? I'm back in sales mode. I'm about to clean the mold and mildew and everything. She was like, wait, you selling a cleaning product? I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, I got this spot on my carpet. If it clean this spot off my carpet, I'm going to buy. So she had us walk in the house. So as I'm walking in her house, right, I'm looking at my coworker. I'm like, she walked in first, and I'm looking at them because they was already dry, and they picked out this house. So I'm like, I told y'all I was going to sell. So I'm walking in their house, right? I see this gun on the table. I'm like, oh, Mom, don't shoot. We just a chocolate key. I thought it was a setup. She was like, no. Let me tell you, right before you knocked on my door, I just got the call that my son just died in a car accident, and I was just about to blow my brains out before you knocked on my door. She was like, but your personality won me over. And me and this lady still friends to this day. She got a real estate company. She a millionaire and everything. I ain't talked to her in like 2 years, but this like a true story. And it's why one of my favorite saying, I say it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice because you never know what somebody going through. You know what I mean? And like, I've been telling that story since like, I really like been going like viral lately off of that because I told it on Cam Newton. I told it on Dirty Glow. I told it on a lot of podcasts, but you never know. People be needing to hear stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because you like, just imagine if I was like a terrible salesperson and I had a bad attitude. You feel me?
I would have told her to do it, but that's just me.
You would have told her what?
I said, go ahead and do it. What you wasting time for? But that's just me. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Hey. That's what people told me. Man up or just do what you want. Why you telling the world? That's horrible, I know.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. You stupid.
They say it in jail, I give them, I say, you a do-it-yourself kit. Here's the sheet. Hey, I know I'm wrong, man. So did y'all get his Instagram? I want to make sure y'all follow him on Instagram so you see everybody. He's connected to the world. What's up, G? He connected to the world, man. And it's just by belief, man. So make sure y'all follow him on Instagram for sure, man. But I want everybody to know that's how I started. That's just watching this man. That's because a lot of people say you should be in comedy, now. Well, I used to jack his jokes at the door at first, and that's how I started building confidence at the door. Confidence is the key with everything. You know, I told him I used to teach sales, so but I used to watch him. They made me watch him, and I do spades: sincerity, personality, attitude, determination, enthusiasm, and sleep. And then you got the three G's: get in, get it, and get out. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. But I appreciate you, Kenny, man. You the truth, man. You the GOAT, man.
Appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for having me. But yeah, Kenny Brooks, man. Follow me on all platforms. It's Funny Salesman everywhere.
Connected to the world. We got Bags. How you say your name? Bagzamilleon? You got we handle the mic. It's all good.
So y'all call us Bagzamilleon?
And he been rocking with Don for a minute, man.
Oh,
But
wow.
I just started watching him, man, paying attention and seeing how important he was. He knows the private life though, but I just want you to break down your expertise. Oh yeah, by the way, Kenny does got his stuff here. What's it called? Let me promote your brand, man, because my homie said he wanted some. You said you wanted some of the Pink Miracle, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. So I want y'all to know, look up what he does. It cleans everything, man.
It does.
I just want to add this real quick. So, but you know, I teach faith-based organizations and stuff. We don't report stuff to the IRS that way, though. We move a little different. Yeah, I just want to say that. But there is people in here. I have students in here that have made their name a business and could possibly, allegedly, beat some drug charges. So I just want to throw that out there. I do have people in here that have beat cases, making their name a business. I've got heat off of people selling cannabis. Cannabis is not illegal to sell, by the way. Marijuana is. No, cannabis is a flower. A lot of people don't know it's a flower. You can't make a flower illegal. Well, a lot of people don't understand that. But if you tribal, that you've always had that right. They never took that right from you as a tribal people. Then if you're tribal, you have the right to, as long as it's not hurting nobody, you can do what you will. I'm talking about crack cocaine. If you want to smoke crack on tribal land, you can go smoke crack. But I'm just saying that's what it is. But yeah, they add baking soda. Yeah, it mess you up. But but I want you to know the private life is different. So like people do move different, and I see why it works for you. You know what I mean? The way you broke it down, Bags. I understood everything you were saying, and I want you to know what the Community Reinvestment Act is. How I was hitting banks getting the 25,000 my first time, but some of them do say no, but you just keep going. And I was saying I was the founder and director with people with good credit. So everything you were saying, that's how I was moving.
So I want to say something, and once again, when I hear or see something or I come across something, when I hear the word understand in court, in court, this is one of the first words that they use when they're reading your charges out. They're gonna say, "Do you understand the charges?" When I went to court and I told a judge that I don't. Okay, so for one, in my book, I talk about never using the word understand. Understand is a curse word. It's not a word to use. You're not supposed to use it unless you are going to control the person that you're in. That you're. So if I come to you and I say, "Be quiet, shut up, don't say nothing," you understand me? When you say yes, you're now under my control.
Right. It's called a stand down language. This is a language that judges are trained to give you.
Correct.
To make your subconscious stand down.
So when he said understand, every time I hear someone say the word understand, it puts me back into like my teaching mode. Like it's like you saying the word need. I'm like, bro, you don't need for nothing. That's where the saying come from. You don't need for nothing. Okay. We don't have to understand nobody. And when we start understanding people, we start going under their control. When you start overstanding, it's when you're not even on the side of them. You're going to let these people know, I do not understand, I overstand. And I hear him say understand. And maybe to him, me and him don't see eye to eye with words. But to me, I don't want him to say understand.
Understand, overstand.
Right. Correct.
It's
Correct.
all good though. Comprehend. comprehend.
And that's it.
Yeah, there you go. Now, listen. So I just want y'all to know, I got everybody up here just to give them their roses. They need their roses, you know. But when it comes to Chief right here, not only like he in the public, he's a doctor. You know what I'm saying? He does the health. But he is more than that. He knows his private life, man. So I'm just gonna let him go with the flow and speak what's laid on his heart. But I know when it comes to the private life and everything that y'all are trying to overstand and understand, like he's there. He'll be able to tap in the ethers and respond off of that, off that energy. That's how I look at it, man. I don't know how else to explain it. Here you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, first off, I just want to greet everybody in our native language. Dakwe, ni tainos, ni tainas, dakai, daikwe. What that means is greetings to my royal brothers and my royal sisters. That's what that means. So I'm Chief Minister Dr. Nebuchadnezzar Hakeem Bey, also known as Chief Prime Minister of the Zemiku Tribal Nation. That's on the private side. On the public side, I'm a professional bodybuilder. I'm a head judge. I have over 29 championship titles. I'm the #1 vegan bodybuilder in the United States. When it comes to fitness, anything, professional athletes, I know them. I have some professional athletes in here. We have a professional wrestler in here. We have professional bodybuilders in here. They want to stay low key, so I'm not going to really put them out there like that. But we have a lot of professional athletes that came here just because support. I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I do want to get into the Q&A. But when it came to the medicinal plants, right? So we had a couple of the tribal members that wanted to get their medication. So, long story short, we went and we got their medication. And let's just say, we also got it tax exempt while everybody else was paying their 20% Vegas tax. The manager came out. They gave us ministerial and indigenous exemptions. So let's just say we left out of there with only $100 worth of stuff, but it was really like $600 worth of stuff. We just leave it like that. So when I leave, we might have extra medicinal stuff just sitting around because there's way too much. We're gonna donate it. We're gonna donate it to the clan. I don't use, like my brother Bags. He said he don't like words like that. I don't like the word family. So after today, I want everybody to stop using the word family. Always understand family trust. That's one thing. But understand that the word family in their world, in their matrix, look at the etymology of the word family. It means a house servant. Has nothing to do with your mom, dad, sister, brother, mother, sisters, uncles, cousins, brother. They don't got nothing to do with that. Family means house servant. It means you serve in the house. You serve in something. Clan means a tribe. People of sanguinity. Some of you don't know what sanguinity is. You can Google that. Write that down. Sanguinity. Sanguinity means through bloodline. Google it. Google's free. Google's free. Google's free. Just, you know what? Just pull out it. Press the little microphone button and then just say sanguinity. It'll come up. There you go. So sanguinity is through bloodline. There's certain phrases that I think you guys should know from an indigenous standpoint. So just so y'all know, we're part of one of the oldest nations, but we stay in the private. We don't have any federal contracts. The way that our tribe moves is you leave us alone and we'll leave you alone. We're friends and we're not enemies of the state. Does that make sense? Some of y'all that may have gone over your head, but there are some things in place that makes everyone in here under wardship tenures. Y'all might want to put that down. Wardship tenures, which means it makes you a ward of the state. And if you're a ward of the state, that means you're state property. And if you're state property, then you're federal property. And if you're property, that means you're 3/5 of a human being. That's why they can get away with shooting and killing our people, because they're still under wardship tenures. The Spanish Inquisition is still going on today. People do not know that. The Spanish Inquisition is what's putting people in the place of being property. If you're like, this is my bottle, right? Okay. Should I go to prison for that? That's my property. If you turn someone, a live, living soul, as your property and you eliminate them, or you eradicate them. I might say a couple controversial words, right? Or just get rid of them for whatever reason. It's not illegal. They can't go to jail. They shouldn't be punished because they're just dealing with their property. That makes sense. So a lot of you may not be tribal, but a lot of you may have ministries. 50AC1As is what a lot of us do. Private ministries. You run your private ministry the way you would a tribe. Everything starts at home. Legally and lawfully, in order for it to be a tribe, there must be 3 or more people. So if you have a mother, you have a father, and you have an offspring, we're not going to call them kids because that's another word that Bags and I don't like. Bag means baby goat or baby sheep. Kid. You don't want that because that means their property too. So, yeah. So at the end of the day, those words do matter. But you can run your ministries so that can be, quote unquote, family business. I call it clan business. It's just if we say that in certain places, it might sound a little crazy. We start saying we're doing some clan business over here, you know? Might look a little crazy. Right, but that's because, see, you got to understand, and I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I want y'all to understand there's some people who have colonized the planet and have created their role. That's why it's called history, right? Because, some people like to say it's his story. And my story is what's a mystery. Because my story is the mystery. No one tells you your story. You got to go get it. You got to go find it. Did you know that there's books in the Library of Congress where there's actually one main book? If y'all want to write this down, go to the Library of Congress and look this up. There's a book called The First Americans. Now, for those of y'all don't know any history, or if you do, the biggest library on the planet was called the Library of Alexandria. It was in Al-Kilam, what is now known as Egypt. It was burnt down, and what is known as the so-called Sphinx, they shot the noses off because it represented melanated people. And it showed that melanated people are the original Cometians, Cometics. Now, I am initiated into certain orders, ancient Egyptian order. I'm also an ADAP. I passed the ADAP chamber. I could stand on my square, 320, 720, 360, whatever it is. Those degrees are here. I'm not in a state of frozen consciousness, so I'm not a 32-degree master mason. I'm a master builder. So what that means is 32 degrees is frozen. The 33rd is given. It's honorary. We gave the Masonic lodges their lessons of how to run government. We gave them civics. When you guys leave here, you're going to learn the importance of credit, right? That's what my man down there is for. My brother right here, he is a walking salesman, meaning he sells himself. So if you got a business and you got things on paper, that still don't mean nothing. Having the paperwork means nothing. Where's the execution? You are the business. You are the ministry. You're the trust. You're everything. You don't own nothing. You're just controlling everything. Then you appoint the right people so that they can go ahead and administer the estate. Because you need somebody to administer the estate. My brother right here, he opens up the door. He can give, he's well-versed in a lot of things. He's giving y'all a lot. I can show y'all some things that correlate with everybody, but how to tie it back to who you are as the live living soul. The live living man and womb man. So a lot of people, listen, in the court, right? Courtrooms, favorite saying, Bible is a fact in the courtroom, right? Okay, so we're not talking nothing religion here. We're going to talk law now. That's called ecclesiastical law. Is everybody following me? So we're talking ecclesiastical law. Okay. Man, God in the books, right? Elohim, I get it. But I'm just going to use terms that I know y'all. I don't want to lose y'all. God said he created man in his image. He created man in his image. Number one. The animals on the planet are male and female. The woman in the book is part of the man, right? Because the man and the womb, man, come together and become one under one covenant. That's because she holds the womb with the B, W-O-M-B, the womb of man. She is the holy waters. We can't get here without a mother. And guess what? You could tell how far the lineage goes by looking at your belly button, because that's the only birthmark that you've ever had in your life. The little freckles and stuff that people got, that didn't come from birth. That's actually a deformity. I still love everybody. Everybody's deformed. I'm deformed too. We all messed up in this world, right? It is what it is. But understand the number one birth, you only got one birthmark, and it's your belly button. And that belly button, right, was attached to an umbilical cord. And you were inside of a sack. You were in the holy waters. You were in the temple. Your first baptismal was when the water broke for the woman. Now what they do is they knew you was in water. My brother in the back, he threw the alley-oop, so I'm a slam dunk. He said maritime, admiralty law. Those are called laws of the ocean, laws of the sea. Right? So what we teach is how to control the private sea. An ocean of water that's private. See, when the woman is pregnant, right? She has those contractions, and those contractions are certain currents. The contraction that the child has with the mom, that's the first contract that the baby has ever been in. It's called this first contractual agreement. The mom had contractions, and depending on how many contractions, that's how many contracts. Oh, we'll get there. That's what the Q&A is for. So with that being said, that's the first part. The woman is seen as a vessel. She's seen as a ship. Right? And when she's on when she starts hitting her birthing process, right? It's just like a ship. When the ship is getting ready to go dock and it's breaking the currents in the water, right? It's called the birthing process for a ship. And the ship has to go to the dock, just like the woman has to go see a doctor. And then what happens when the ship docks? Then there's a certificate that is issued. Y'all follow? I know you do. Right? Now that certificate is to show what supplies went from the waters onto the land. The labor, the energy, the currency. Because they're in the current moment of leaving the sea. What, that hit you? I heard you say, "God damn."
Hey, I just want y'all to know I like seeing it hit the melanin.
No, I'm glad it hit. I lost where I was at. Currency, what else? All right, and then you get your certificate of manifest, right? You get your certificate of manifest, which is known as a birthing certificate, right? Because she's the ship, and she was birthing. She went to the dock. They get the certificate of what was on there, the cargo, right? They call it cargo. Yeah, it's just when you relate on the ship. So with that being said, understand all these words, they mean something. They have spells. Everything is witchcraft. You Samoan? Yeah, you Samoan. That's the tribe. Allegedly. It's still allegedly.
I got the chief, I got Don, and I'm like, man, what am I doing here? And then you explain what you explained, and it just hit me. The first contract, I got to see my daughters come into this world, and they didn't go to no doctor.
Let's go.
right.
Let's go. Give me chills, man. Give me chills there. Give me chills there.
Everybody give him a round of applause. He's a little emotional. I'm a non-emotional, emotional person, so I don't really know how to react when men cry, so I'm going to let him be.
I just want you to know I'm getting goosebumps, y'all. That shit don't happen to me.
But listen, brother, I feel you. And I have a lot of friends that are Samoan, okay? So my doctorate degrees, because I ain't really get into that. So I don't want to bore y'all with all that. But, yeah, because that's the boring stuff. Just yeah. We'll give you more than just the doctorate. The doctorate don't mean nothing. It's just a piece of paper, just like a certification. Sometimes you just need pieces of paper to be able to get a bigger bag. Number one rule in my tribe is don't fuck up the bag. I hope y'all understand that, because I think y'all not really going to hear it. Like, now I got to get back into the street version of me, all right? So for everybody to know, I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx and Harlem, okay? I'm 50-50. Half of my family was tribal. The other half was in the street. They were kicked out of the tribe. Yeah, I'm a New Yorker, but I'm a national. So I'm not a citizen. 8 USC 1408. Go ahead, look that up. At birth. So where I'm going with this is kind of like my other brothers that was explaining some stuff up here, is that I was told to not take any labels that was given to me. The number one thing my father ever told me was, you're not this, you're not that. You're Taino. That resonated with me until I started talking to older ones and I started going under the tutelage, learning under different master teachers, learning under different schools of thought. I learned how to speak to people, and this is why, you know, how the Bible and the Torah, they all say the same thing. Speaking in tongues to me is something different. Speaking in tongues to me is when I got a Crip, a Blood, a businessman, a lawyer, I'm going to speak the language they speak. That's speaking in tongues to me. Because no matter who you are, whether you're indigenous, whether you're not, if you're a professional athlete or you're not, whether you're an attorney, a judge, you're going to resonate with me because I'm going to speak the language that you're going to understand. You'll start getting it. You'll start seeing, okay, it makes sense. So with all that, we're going to tie it all together. I do have a public life. Everyone in the public just knows that particular public figure. The people closest to me know exactly who I am. I'm also sponsored by the top supplement brands in the industry. TigerFitness.com is one of them. MTS Nutrition. Okay, I know Mark Lobliner personally. I spoke to him yesterday on the phone. Brandon Curry. All the professional bodybuilders. I'm also the media and press director for Olympia Gear. So I'm at every major event. So whether it's the Arnold Expo, Fitness Expo, the Mr. Olympia, this year's the 60th anniversary. I'm going to probably be out here again for a whole week. The only difference is this time I'm going to bring Don with me to Olympia. So I have that public life. Everyone knows, yeah, he'll be my assistant. He'll be my assistant on paper. So real quick, my social medias are Barbarin Hawk. That's it. BARBARIANHAK. We'll explain that for a whole nother time. But I took a name that was negative and I turned it positive. Barbarian is a street name from New York City. It's tied to a particular, allegedly, situation. And when I was able to get into going into the tribe, finally getting certain positions, becoming a tribal minister. You have to become an indigenous tribal minister first. Then you become a chief minister, and then I wind up getting the authority to be able to open up the seats to my own private tribal government, and it could be structured the way I want. So we have an indigenous tribal government that functions as a constitutional republic in the public. And we move like that. So I'm going to open it up to the Q&A unless Don got something else.
So let's give everybody a round of applause, man. I like that. I like that, man. Everybody up here deserves their flowers, but I need y'all to understand this. I started like literally when I'm lost. I'm homeless. He says he's homeless, knocking door to doors, right? I was doing the same thing. Lost. I'm running from myself though, but that's how I started learning law. That's how I started learning people. That's how I started learning my mind. That's how I started the goal set. If I told myself I'm going to send 10 magazines, I'm not going to stop knocking doors. I'm not going to skip doors. I'm going to knock every single one of them. Law of probability. If I knock 100 doors, I know I'm going to sell 10. Keep the same attitude. So you are the business. You got to keep that same attitude. If you believe you're going to be the case, you're going to be the case because in order for a crime to exist, there has to be a victim. You understand? So that's just what I want to put out there, man. I'm opening up Q&As. I watched him, and I was so happy when I seen him again because he's successful, because my steps as an entrepreneur and being confident about who I am and feeling great about talking to strangers. People don't know I don't like talking to strangers. People don't understand that. I'm still annoyed about that. Like even with my homie, I said, well, I don't really do clubs unless they paying me. I go to the club if they paying me. I'm in that. But other than that, I'm not no club guy. I'm a loner, smoke weed. That's what I do, man. But I appreciate everybody coming out. Y'all look good. Y'all look amazing, man. So I'm gonna use this mic. Y'all want to question and answers? Ask them what you need to know, man. But I appreciate y'all coming out, man. And y'all see, I'm telling y'all, man, what I do, for some reason, this is who I call. Like when I'm going through some shit, I do be calling him, man. He just be checking on me. He's like, bro, I know you needed something. So that, like I told my homie C's, because C's is gonna be working with him too. Just be yourself, man. And then you're straight. He understands you're human. You understand? He done been through the wire to get to where he's at. So just that's what it is, man. Here y'all go. Let me put that right there. Be here for y'all.
My name is Joseph. You had mentioned something earlier regarding. You had mentioned something like you said a verse in the Bible about let us make man in our own image, and I was kind of a little bit stricken with like thoughts on. So when they say like when let's make man, does it mean that man was already existent, and then they just want to make man in their own image and likeness, which is I know it's God or I'm just a little bit thinking too deep about that.
That's a good question. We're not gonna go so deep into the Bible so that we don't make people go crazy. But long story short, I mean, you can think about it. Understand that the Bible is all allegorical. So there's stories that actually show you a specific principle that you need to understand. So that is just speaking from the creation point. So if God created man in his image, right? Man being meaning like man, not mankind, because that's a whole nother thing. But think of the woman. The woman is our version of God on the planet because she can create man in her image through the baby. See, you have to understand, a lot of people didn't look at, but you could look it up. See, you ever looked at the word father? It's because us as husbands or whatever, however you want to call it, we fat her with our seed. We fat her with our seed. We have to plant the seed, right? And that seed that grows is the child. Do some research on sperm. They have found that men's sperm is condensed sunlight. So if it's condensed sunlight and we fat her with our seed, this is why some people call their woman the earth. Because you could plant your seed and it'll grow. Yeah. Also remember, since somebody said something about putting it out there, somebody said it. So I'm going to put it, today's date is the 27th, which means wisdom God in supreme mathematics. 2 plus 7 makes 9, which means born, to be brought forth into existence mentally and physically. So today, the gods are going to give you your wisdom. Y'all take that and y'all bring something forth into existence so you don't fuck up the bag.
Hey, so no cannabis for that intellect.
They could, but they're going to get it exempt.
I'm saying no cannabis for you, and you still got that intellect.
Sometimes I need medication when I'm, need to be medicated, but
I'm like, bro, you up there?
I'm not high now. I didn't take none
you
now.
in the ethers.
Oh, I'm always going to be up there.
Yeah, you're in the ethers.
Sometimes I have to pull back down, so because sometimes people can't grow with you, right? It's called closing the gap. So there's something called closing the gap in world and in business. Not everybody could go with you where you got to go. It's not meant. And it's called dead weight. So I had posted something on Instagram, and it was the flyer. And I said, the wait is over. And somebody said, you spell wait wrong. I said, no, I didn't. I said, the dead weight is over. When you come to the event, the dead weight is over.
That's what you pay is with dead weight.
Cut off the dead weight, and you can move up. Close the gap. Either you can't come down to bring them up with you. They either gonna come or that's it, because it's called dead weight. It's baggage. They just holding you back.
The odds is weight, man. But I wanted to add this though. So I be creation is what your own belief. So like he said, you don't want to get deep. But I always said it takes a man to raise a man, but a woman to raise a nation. Even with, like I'm not gonna get too deep in political because if you say the wrong things, they cut you off the air. But like trans women, they came from a woman, so they still a woman. But I'm just saying, like, women create everything in this realm, and I believe that the sperm cell turns into the brain and the spine, so that's where you get your spirituality.
Correct. When the tail breaks off, that is what's gonna create the spine. So just to add on to that, right? Well, say that one part about the trans again.
Trans women are women because they came from women, and men are women too.
Okay, understand that every single baby in the womb is a woman first until the testicles drop, which are the ovaries that were in the stomach.
That's science.
When the testicles drop, this don't got nothing to do with belief. This is not my opinion. It is what it is. It starts off as woman, and then there is a chemical reaction that forces the testicles to drop. When the testicles drop, now you have man.
I just love it when people do their own research and studies. Because the conversation is different. You know what I mean? But next question. We here for anything, man. Everything we went over. I want to talk about the private life, whatever, man. You clean too, by the way.
So this is a question for Dom, but it's in regards to something that Bags had mentioned about beneficiaries. Bags was saying that he's always being the beneficiary in the business he's conducting. And I'm working with Don. I'm a minister, and I'm trying to, or I am in the process of making my name into a business and trademarking. So I'm wondering, I've heard Don say that he's not the beneficiary. So we're always the trustee, and the ministry would be the beneficiary, correct? Okay. Okay. And I would beneficiary through the holding company is. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, let's grab that. So just in case. So here you go. Here you go. So this is how I move, okay? This is my process. Everybody moves differently, so everybody has different words of advice. But what attracted me to Bags the most, because obviously I like to be me. His ass knows about charging order protection. He said, go to Delaware, buy an LLC.
Yeah.
So listen, we do Nevada.
As soon as I heard that song,
We do no. Hey, like listen, literally, that's hard. That's hard. He's teaching because you learn the game through music. You learn to teach. They teach you first through music. Twinkle twinkle little star, so you know you're a star. Then they remix it to ABC. Now you spell casting, spelling and spell casting. By the way, just so y'all know, it's the sound. You come through the world first through an ultrasound. But so using the social security number, it's a public trust. And you're automatically the beneficiary. So this is why you're getting taxed for everything. So if I'm paying his government, I'm under his government now, I can just, here's 10% of whatever I make. Now, but I can still I'm still a trustee or a beneficiary of his tribe, how I want to do it. You just don't want to be a public beneficiary. That's a public trust. Right. Anything in the public, even if you don't set up your operating agreements, you're under the government's law with an LLC. I don't care if it's in Delaware or not. You just go there and just set up some stuff. Now there is laws that protect you in these states, but I want you to know operating agreements. So everybody understands that the government can't interfere with a private contract. So even with the codes and statutes, I want you to know when sometimes we may maneuver, we're going to use our bylaws. We're not what it says right here in our tribal constitution. We'll use our own codes and statutes. You can put your own codes and statutes in your family trust. Your tribal, I don't like to use the word tribal trust because people want a tribal trust when I say these things. Like, Don, help me up with a tribal trust. I mean, it's just paperwork in and I wanted him to touch covenant. He used the word covenant. And I need people to know with the church, you have a covenant with God. When you're creating I don't even want to say church, faith-based organization, or even your tribe, you have a covenant. And I want you to know there's not a promissory note because these are slave contracts. There's not a promissory note. There's not an agreement that can go against the covenant. It's that good faith. It's your faith with your higher power. So like even with him, if he's with a record label or something like that, he would be rapping for God. If that makes sense. But the beneficiary, I don't put people as beneficiaries in my trust. I use nonprofit organizations, 508c1as. Your holding company can't own anything anyways. It's like a public trust. If y'all understand holding companies, all a holding company can do is hold assets. All a trust can do is hold assets. And what the government controls of you, to my understanding and belief, allegedly, because I've never seen the government. I'm just letting y'all know I've never seen the government. I don't know if y'all have. I do smoke weed. But so it's like you have to understand that they're the public trustees. The Social Security Trust Administration, only thing you can do with the Social Security number is pick your trustees. I guess that's your right to vote. But even as a color, like I've been trying to teach Kenny this. I don't know if Kenny's got it yet. The black backpack. The backpack is the noun, black is the adjective, so you can never be black. But if you choose to be black, your black ass is sure enough to go to jail. Does that make sense? So you volunteer the information. The information is always voluntary. So I just want to throw that out there. And he did say, I don't know if I'm supposed to say, he said pretty soon he's going to make it where he's going to have a public tribe that's going to be open to help people in the public that can come. They're going to have to go through things.
Well, so basically what we're going to do, our tribal nation is in the private. We live in the private sector. So what's going to happen is we'll still be in the private sector, but we'll have evidence of our existence in the public. So Wikipedia wants to write a whole Wikipedia page on me, on who I am, public and private. So they're going to say, this is Chief Minister, blah, blah, blah. But in the public, he's a professional athlete with XYZ credentials, and master trainer, sports nutritionist, doctorate in kinesiology, exercise physiology. So, yeah. So we're not going to go completely having like contractual agreements with them, but we will have a treaty with them so that, they stay over there, we stay over here. You do what you want over there, we're going to do what we want over here. So, yeah, that eventually. Because there's a part of nationality a lot of people don't know. Nationality is key. If you have no nationality, then you're a subject. Of course, my brother.
I want to say something to what he was just saying about, like, you never see Amish people in jail. You never see Amish people in jail. You never see Native Americans in jail. Now are they Native American holding cells? Yes, it's of course in their land. It got to be jails, but the normal person that's Native is not going to
I
jail.
want you to know, watch that word too, because native does mean servant in bondage.
Okay, well,
Etymology in native. I want y'all to understand this stuff because we go back and forth. And I love it when somebody teaches me new words. Like even the word smart means to cause pain. Nice means foolish. Look these things up.
Dumb, stupid, and foolish.
Queen means head whore. I love my queens.
yeah, that's another thing I say. So so I'm glad you said that. That makes sense. I call every female a goddess, and I always let a female know if when a guy call you a queen, you should always stop him in mid sentence because a queen was a whore to the king. The queen did every single thing that the king said. So if the king said have sex with 10 of us or 10 women, she pretty much did every single thing he said. So I don't look at females as queens, and I don't like when they call themselves queens because you're a goddess. And I think once you call yourself a queen, you take the responsibility of being a whore.
Right.
Without really knowing it. It's just like
Right.
you don't know you a whore, but you have whore tendencies because you want to be this queen to this king that is the person that's telling you what to do. Okay, so if you're a goddess, you're not going to even look at a king because you look at a god. You're bigger than a king if you are a goddess. Okay, well,
I just want to jump in. You said the word female. I'm gonna go back to it because you just reminded me.
here we
So it say that man and woman was given dominion over the animals and the land. So that's actually the first trust agreement. We became the ministerial trustees of the planet, right? Okay. Animals are considered male and female. So when you go into court and you say that you're male and female, automatically that is a verbal contract stating that you are not under the covenant anymore. Then they give you a Bible and they tell you to swear on it. If you're under the covenant, you're supposed to affirm, not swear. Because when you swear, now someone else is your God. And remember, the word God is government ordinance department.
Hey, I want to add this too, because after we do the Q&As, we'll take a break. I'm gonna let y'all network. But I see like with people that came in with him, just with him, they know some shit too. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but like the stuff he's talking about, the people that came with him, some of them do know some stuff. Like they're pretty deep. So I'm just gonna throw that out there, man. They're very intellectual. They're very enlightened individuals. Oh, that's fine.
Credit wise, do you recommend adding your children to your credit lines? And that's one. And it's authorized user and trade line the same? Okay.
okay. So when you're dealing with the kids, I'm glad she asked that. Your kid cannot.
Children is a baby goat.
Okay, your children.
Or
Okay,
or
so-
keep interrupting during sex. It stands for that too.
correct. When you're dealing with the kid, when you're dealing with the children and the baby goats,
We own land and we farm on this side.
so
Calling you Billy out here.
yes, I wouldn't add a kid to the credit until 17, 18 years old. It's nothing they can't get credit until 18. So adding them at 12 and 13 means nothing for them because if you add the same credit card 4 years later, they're going to get the same score that they would have at 12 years old. So people try to add their kids at younger ages and think that when they get older, it's going to make a difference. It's not. I would do it on their 17th, 18th birthday. At least 18. 17 don't mean anything because they still can't go get anything in their name without some type of permission from the mother anyways or the father. And far as the AUs, a primary is not the same as a authorized user. The accounts that I gave earlier, like the self accounts, the Covos, and what I named, those are primaries. Those are the accounts that you actually want to get. It's called the 91-day rule, where in 91 days of paying payment history on time, you now can get what's called a balance increase. Okay, so every 91 days, so let's say you open up Self, let's say you open up Kickoff, let's say you open up these accounts. You're not going to get any money before 90 days because they want to see 90-day payment history. Now, on the 91st day, they're going to say, hey, she had Kickoff for 3 months and she paid. That's where the FICO score comes from. It comes from history. Credit Karma is a vintage score. It's called Vintage. That's Credit Karma. It's called Vintage Score 3.0. And Experian is going to be a FICO 8 or a FICO 10. You only want FICO. You don't really care too much about vintage scores. That's why they say Credit Karma score is always different from Experian. Okay, so you want to deal with primaries. Make sure you get you around 12 to 13 primaries. That's a must. Anything under 10 accounts, you're not credit worthy. And then on top of that, the AUs. You do not want to get any AUs that's contradicting your age. Okay, so if you're 30, you don't want a 30-year-old trade line because you was not 0 years old when you got this trade
Boy,
line.
I came out this getting credit. Boy, what you talking about? Well, no. Hey, but look, can I add to this though?
That's what I said about the 18 years. That's
so,
what I was.
So look, 'cause I help people with child support and stuff too, right? So you make your kid's name a DBA under your name that's an LLC, then you can build credit off that way for your kids, if that makes sense. And then make the clan trust or the tribal trust, whatever you want to call it, not the family trust, but you make that own the kid's name, and then you could just build business credit with the kid's name, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Right. Because a parent is a parent who rents. Child or children mean property of a corporation. So your children's name is already a business. If you're trying to build credit, you're in the slave. A credit system is a slave system. Right. So you gotta learn how to own nothing, control everything. You're not the name, you work for the name. So I just want to throw that out there.
My main thing is this: get the money from the credit and move. Like not move out of state, but like move. Like let's get the tribal stuff.
Just go private.
I'm talking right. Right.
See, the best part about all of us up here is that there's people in here that's not private, and there's a lot of people in the public. So go to Bags, get the public information,
right?
Get that right,
and come straight to
so that we could go into the private. Because what's the point of having a trust if you don't have assets to protect?
The Palu ID. So this we stay foreign, because at the end of the day, if you got problems in Missouri, pull up, man. I'm foreign.
Man, the police pulled me over.
I did want him to speak on him because his way is a lot safer than what I teach. Nah, man, because listen, when he came in here, listen, literally, when he came in when I finally got to meet you, it was hours after you got off the plane. I finally got to meet him, and then because there's tribal rules, bro. Y'all got to be trained in this stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like the way he pulled up, y'all got to be trained like that. That's how y'all supposed to be moving. Y'all have to have people to call. You can't just be like, man, I'm the Republic of Palu, and I'm a foreign national. Though they have to talk to your consular. They have to talk to your ambassador. They got to take me to your leader. You have to have leadership. You know, when you were 16, they call your mom, they call your father. You still need a mom and father out here, man. I'm not, you need even in the higher ups. I'm not gonna get too deep, you know what I mean? Because there's people in here that isn't a public, but they got handlers. They talk to their handlers. You know what I mean? So with this, you still want to have that unity, that tribal unity. You still want that clan. You still want to have people that you can call on. So I just want y'all to understand that.
I'm glad he said that. What made me know this ID was special was two things. I never tried to catch a plane with this because I never wanted to get to the plane station and then try to use this and then they turn me around. So I always just take my expire ID or whatever. Okay. But what made me believe in this was that I went to a bank and I wanted to withdraw my money. And when the lady came, she said, we can't take this ID. We cannot take it. I said, what do you mean? I came in here last week and got money out of here from the manager. They know me. It's a UN number on here. It says my UN number is located on here. Now this UN number, I don't know what it is. I don't really know what it stands for. I do know that they use this UN number when they're deposit when I'm withdrawing the money. They put this 9-digit number on the slip. Okay. Now, what made me like this Pamunkey ID is when the police put me over. Now, what he was talking about earlier about being a ward of the state, when you go get an ID from the DMV, it's regulations and it's certain codes you have to go by because you sign a contract with the DMV. So if you ever get pulled over, you can go to jail because you signed a contract to say if you violate these laws, it causes jail time. So when you are a ward of the state is when you go get an ID. So, but when you let the ID expire or you resend the ID back in, you're now not like a ward of that state anymore. So when I get pulled over, I say nothing. I roll down all 4 windows. And when you roll down all 4 windows, it gives them no right to search because they can look inside the car and see that it's. So I stop them from when the windows are rolled up, they now can ask you to step out the car. But when all 4 windows are rolled down, you give them visible sight to see of no guns or drugs or anything in the back. Only when you leave the back windows rolled up and they can't physically see in there, they can ask you to get out the car. But I learned this from being Native American because I've been getting pulled over. I don't drive with no license and I don't drive with no license plate. Okay, so they're going to put me over. But when they do, I roll every window down. As soon as he come up, I hand him this. When he go back to his car, the first thing he's going to see is international traveler. So I'm going to let him know that I'm not driving. I am traveling. Now, but I'm not going to go too deep in it. Because when you start doing too much, they're going to pull you out. They're going to say you're indigenous. And they're going to say that you all of this stuff that you're not. No. Here go my ID. Because if I give you this ID and you come back and hand it back to me, I know that this ID serves a purpose because if I handed you a fake ID, that is a federal offense. So if you give me this ID back and don't arrest me, I know that this ID means something because I can't give you no fake ID. It's a federal offense to give you a fake impersonation ID. So when they come back, guess what numbers they're going to read? They're going to read these 9 digits, but these 9 digits is not going to go to their state. It's not going to go to anybody but to the UN, the United Nations. So they can't write me a ticket because I'm not within their jurisdiction.
He's known as an alien.
So now when they come back, they just come right back to the car and they say, have a nice day. And that's only because I'm not going to start to talk like, man, I'm this, I'm native. You can't touch me. I don't got to roll my window down. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Roll your window down and hand them your ID. Let them know that you're not driving and that you are traveling and that you are Pamunkey and that you're traveling back home. You just want to get home.
So I want to jump in on that real quick. You see, when he was explaining how the process with the ID, it's called an IPON, Indigenous Peoples Organization Number. That's what that number is. Yeah, it's called an IPON, Indigenous Peoples Organization Number. So that is sending them to the UN to let them know this is an indigenous people's organization. It's a tribal government. And they're dealing with the UN. Because a lot of people don't know the United States sold everybody to the UN. Yeah, they sold everybody to the UN, and then there's a custodian, and then there's like a whole bunch of people administering your estate, and you haven't like spoke to them, and you haven't told them who you are. So until you identify yourself, like you see how he said he pulled the windows down, he's giving his ID. Identification. I would do it a little bit differently because they're supposed to present 3 forms of identification. Because I don't know who he is. He could have stole the car and the gun. He could be doing identity.
Only reason why I don't do that because of my background history.
You good.
I have gun history. So when they run that name, the state, your old ID is gonna pop up.
Correct.
But because you didn't present that ID, they can't take you under that ID. Because if I gave him my North Carolina ID, he's just going to take my 9-digit number. And now he knows who I am from that 9-digit number from my North Carolina ID.
Correct.
That's the contract.
And now you're
Correct.
a ward of the state. Now they
Correct. But
administer your
but
estate.
when I give him my native ID, he only can run the 9-digit numbers that's on there. He can't try to give me a ticket for a ID that's expired already, because that's not who I am. I'm not even with y'all anymore. Okay.
You're a foreign national. And
Correct.
at that point, he's foreign, and they have procedures in their books. Police, sheriffs, they have procedures dealing with foreign nationals. They have to treat you completely different. I know Don wanted me to bring something up, so I'm going to say it.
Let me add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because he brought something. He said, this is why my tribe chooses to wear it around their neck. But I want you to know, when I was studying the police handbooks, because that's what I do, I study police handbooks. I started learning in Chicago. One of our brothers, because he's rough around the edges, man. This brother is just rough around the edges. But the way he maneuvered, and it worked. Because that's not how DONKILAM would have got down. But I started learning that anything foreign to their system, you're a foreign national automatically, or like he said, an alien. But I want him to bring, it made so much sense of why he says he wears this stuff on the neck, and his ID, his identification on his neck. And I think that's important for melanated brothers who are scared in this system.
Yeah, I'm going to, so if you notice that some of the tribal members are trying to be low key, but some of them are going to have their identifications just the same way. It's a requirement. So we're supposed to, hold this for me real quick. The reason for that is because when someone says, oh, let me see identification, you automatically go to your pocket, right? So what's going to happen is they're automatically going to think you're reaching for something. So it's giving them a reason to pull out and pop you. All you got to do is say, no problem. And you go in, let me find it.
Ain't no gun in there.
Ain't no gun on my neck, and I'll just pull it out like this. Here you go. That's my identification. Then you pull it out, and you give it to them. Then they're going to run your barcodes, and it's going to say, well, so I got it now. So when they run the barcodes, it's a little different. So we went to one dispensary. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. We went to one dispensary. When they ran the barcode, they didn't want to bother us, because when they ran our barcodes, the status comes up. Do not detain, do not arrest or harass. This is a foreign, private, American tribal national. Please contact our tribal embassy and consulate with the phone number, and then all your identification is on there. So the name that validates who you are, everything that checks. So one of the things I wanted to bring up, because I have another tribal brother. He's from another tribe, but he's still my brother no matter what. These things are called ETCs, okay? Enhanced Tribal Credentials. I've been doing, and Don knows because I done told him, I've done a lot. I've sat down with the right people. I don't care. I'm Mr. Check the Box. When y'all leave, this is what I need y'all to do. Write this down. Everybody write this down. Your goal, and no matter what you do, is make sure you check off all the boxes. If you check off all the boxes, you're not giving them a reason to harass you, bother you. Our IDs need to look a certain way? Cool. It's just compliance. We just want the IDs to be compliant in their system. See, the Real ID Act only is enforceable to U.S. citizens. If you're not a U.S. citizen, it does not apply. That does not apply to tribal people, indigenous people, foreign nationals, Amish, French, don't matter. If you're not a U.S. citizen, remember, the U.S. and the United States of America, two different things. That's why there's 3 constitutions, 3 different things. You go from being on the land to being on the water, and then being ruled by military law, admiralty law, laws of the ocean. So keep in mind, it's mandatory. So tribal members have their ID. So now if you have a ministry, right, whoever it is, if you got a ministry, you should have ministerial ID. That's legal and lawful ID if you're functioning in a ministerial capacity. Our tribal government consists of 13 ministerial councils. So when you become a national, we're gonna help you get to the point of becoming an indigenous national, but also an indigenous minister. Then we're gonna have certain documents sent off to IRS so that now your status with the IRS is corrected. It's all about status, right? Something Don talks about in the past that I heard him say. Status correction is important. When I got my doctorate degree, that was a new status change. I became a doctor. When I had my son, I became a father. These are different things, right? You hold different names and you hold different titles. So if you're functioning under your ministerial capacity, the name of the trustee for that ministry might be slightly different than what you're used to using. But if you're using it in a legal and lawful capacity as a minister, then you can administer whatever estate you want to. So once again, having the IDs around, that's very, very important, because nowadays when they come to the car, the little clip is unbuckled. And if the little clip is unbuckled, that means they're ready to pull out. Yeah, for the holster. The little clip is unbuckled. And that automatically what? You can actually start saying, look, I fear for my life now because you're unbuckled. Unbuckled means you're ready to use it. There's rules, gun safety. I know there's some people in here that have used, weapons, right? Number one rule, keep your finger straight off the trigger until you intend to fire. Never point a weapon at anybody. You don't ever point a weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. So for the policy enforcers, right? Because they're enforcing policies and codes and statutes. If it's unclipped, they're ready.
That's why as soon as
They're ready.
As soon as they point it at you, they shoot you.
That's
You're right.
Yeah.
As soon as they pull it out, they know.
Well, if they think you're black in their system, though, they can get away with that. And I'm not racist. I'm not none of that. I just need y'all to understand. Black is 3/5 of a person. I need y'all to get that through your head. Black is not a nationality. And to be honest, I'm more black than anybody. So, black means the bleach. So I just looked this up. Black means the bleach. But scientifically, black means death.
So Don, can I ask a question?
Wait, real quick before you say that, I'm gonna jump on that because he said it. I saw some people's face. The etymology of the word bleach comes from the Germanic word blakeen, which means to make pale. Bleach, blakeen, pale. It's all the same word.
So when you filling out an application and they ask you what your race is, do you put white and Native American?
there's one race, the human race, but I'm not racist.
Right, but answer this for them because they don't say the human race on that.
No, you could put other and put living soul.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
because
I always put like
some
living.
people
So
check
like
white,
I need y'all to
and they
understand
check
because y'all
negative.
be hearing about irrevocable trust too, right? So I still believe. Look up South Dakota. I still believe it's important to have a living trust. Living trust before you get to the irrevocable. You got to be able to move and change some things, and then that living trust becomes irrevocable upon the grantor's death. But I need you to know, ever since I've been using that living word, and as far as status goes, I get remedy in the federal courts. So I just want everybody to know that. So like you do need to know their law, though. You do need to know the law. Now, when it does come, so I do want to touch this again because he made it sound easy. If he was one of my students, I would keep doing your thing, man. But as far as that goes, I think you should be under a tribe to learn how to speak to the police correctly. Your family should be versed. You shouldn't try these things unless you're versed, because I'm telling you, in order to be a part of a tribe, you have to speak to the police a certain way, and then you have to know your tribal rights. There's rights. You have a right to a tribal council. You have a right to your peers. So a lot of people don't know. When you're saying you're a U.S. citizen, they got your peers for you. It's whoever they pick. It's their court. It's their game. You sitting here playing games with him. Like he said, dude went 760 and all. I don't know. I'm 360. I don't know. He went up there, boy. But I'm just letting you know. But when you're playing the game, this is a Masonic game. You're living in a Masonic game. First degree is being hoodwinked. You went to a public education. You start waking up. Hey, we've been waiting on you. They waiting on you. As soon as you're waking up, they already know. They see your auras. They see a lot of different things. I'm not going to get too deep. But I need y'all to know there's a reason why if you went to a public education system, you're not inventing things. Because naturally you will be inventing. You'll be inventing things. You're getting that creative spirit, that creative realm. You know what I mean? That's what you're here to do. So with tribes, and sometimes they watch you. Like we need to be having our own, I'm going to say Dick Gregory, if y'all know who Dick Gregory is. Literally, a lot of people don't know how he was getting money. He get funding from governments and stuff, and learning the private, do science. They was building technology, all of this, man. So I just want you to know you can do it, and these are things people need to be focused on. And I think we should be focusing on our own language as well, even though he got his own language.
Just to touch on what Bags was saying, I would always suggest that the individual know who they are before filling out an SF 181, which is going to be the form that has you state either you're white, Native Hawaiian, Native American, things of that nature. That's what that form is called. It's called the SF 181. And they use that at the DMVs and things of that nature. So you can put the live living man if you choose it, but you just got to be able to stand on your square. You got to understand, well, if you're saying you're the live living man, then how? Like, you need to be able to prove it. Like I said before, you can know everything on paper, right? You could have the best affidavit that could shut the whole court down, right? But when the judge takes the paper and rips it, can you explain it? Can you at least generalize what's on the document? You could have the best documents in the world. You could pay 25 bands for somebody to create you the best trust, tax exempt everything, and you going to do that. But if you ain't got no assets, you really don't got to trust. You just have an agreement that one day, maybe if we get some assets, then maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, see, that's that try thing again. You're going to try to get some money and you're going to try to go to open up a bank account. But yeah, as far as that's concerned, I always tell people go based on what you know and what you could prove. So in their system, white is a status, just like black is a status. On that document, it says Native Indian. I'm not from India.
Southeast Asia.
I'm not from India. So I'm not Native Indian. This is why when they use those terms like Native Indian, then they try to use the word reservation. I've had people say, wow, you a chief. They said, damn, chief. So what reservation? I said, I don't deal with those contractual agreements. They said, why? I said, you ever took your wife or your husband to go eat dinner? You ever called ahead of time? What is that called? Reservations, right? That means you got it for this one time period, but eventually you got to give it back up to its rightful owner. So why would I have a reservation and have a piece of land just for this time period? When we're the autochthonous people that Christos Colombo, which some of y'all are probably like, who the hell is that? I didn't read that. Well, that's his real name, but he's known as Christopher Columbus. And we were the ones, he came in 1492. He came to our people. And in the history books, our particular bloodline, everyone knows them as the Taino, but that's a phrase. Just like when you depart from somebody, you say Taino ti. May the good great spirit be with you. So you can greet somebody by saying Taino. See, when Christopher Columbus came, we were like, Taino, Taino, Taino. We was trying to let them know we're the noble people. The island that I have connections to is La Isla de Borinquen, which means the island of the noble ones. It's been misnomered Puerto Rico, rich port. There has never been a nation of people who call themselves rich port. So Puerto Rico is Moorish Latin, which is Spanish, which means Puerto Rico, which is Puerto, which is port. Rico means rich. So Puerto Rican is not a nationality. I'm going to say it again to some of y'all who think y'all Latino, Spanish, black, Negro, colored, whatever, green. None of this is a nationality. When you have a nationality in place, I don't care if you're from France, you're French. When you have a nationality in place, this is now nation building. It's one nation communicating with another nation. It's not someone of royal lineage looking down to you. When you go to the court, they're sitting higher only because subconsciously they're making you look up to them, which makes you stand under. So you're standing under their authority. Nah, don't work like that. Especially if this is our land, we're the original people here. I'm not going to get a reservation. I'm not giving nothing back. You give me something. Look, one of the things people used to say was, don't be an Indian giver. You want to know why? We're going to change the word Indian to native. You want to know why? Because the indigenous people didn't give up nothing, but we wanted it back when y'all stole it. See, there was contracts. They went to Britain, they went to France, and they went over there and went to colonizers. That's why I said the Spanish Inquisition is still in place, because they specifically went to Spain to buy a particular part of land that was here, but they had no claim. They had no claim to that particular land. It was called the Louisiana Purchase. It was called the Louisiana Purchase. They went to Spain, and they bought it for a couple $1 million. Then they came back and told the indigenous people to move. And they said, if y'all go to that side of the continent, what's going to happen is we'll leave y'all alone. We just want these. We're going to create something called the 13 colonies. And they had only the East Coast. We had the rest. Everything else, technically, Texas, California, was known as Mexico or Mexico, right? From the ancient names, going back to the Olmec and Aztecs, etc. But the Olmecs is the original. Okay, don't let anybody talk about the Mayans and stuff like that, because when you look at the word the Mayan means a falsehood. It means something that never existed. So when you're calling yourself Mayan people, you're just saying I'm part of a nation that never existed. So everything is spells.
I did want to speak on Texas again. Texas is a country. State is a country. I need y'all to know. So even with your state, Nevada, you could be a Nevadan, but Texans are Texans, and they have the world's 8th largest economy. I just want to throw that out there.
Real quick, and I'll finish off of this. Remember when I told you they bought it from Spain? Y'all can look that up, right? But then I also want y'all to look up the fact that they had all of the indigenous people that was in that particular landmass. They literally had to grab whatever they could grab and leave. And as they were walking, a lot of them were crying. This is where you get the Trail of Tears. That was when they had to walk to the west. Now, the reason the colonizers did that was because they were like, you know what, we're going to get this, we're going to force them out. There's something else I'm going to say, and then we'll go back to the Q&A. After the Trail of Tears, they settled in the west, but then the colonizers wanted to keep expanding west. Then they came across us again. They came across the indigenous people again. And they said, you know what? We're going to be next to them because these people know how to farm. They know agriculture. They didn't. Now, what I need y'all to look up, because this is going to be very, very important. A lot of people, and it's going to sound weird coming from me, right? Because you're going to look at me one way, but I'm going to educate you guys. A lot of people have been told to stay away from the word cotton picker. Cotton picker came to be something very negative, right? Do you know what is one of the oldest indigenous plants of North America? It's cotton. We actually, the indigenous people, were the first ones to farm cotton. I'm going to say it again. Cotton is indigenous to North America. Indigenous people grew it, but we didn't use it for clothes like the colonizers. The colonizers saw how much cotton was there, and they saw a value. For us, you can't own the land because we're one and the same. We're one with the land. Can't buy the land if you come from the land. Genesis 2, chapter 5 and 7. You know, you come from the dirt, and from the dirt you shall return. So with that being said, they saw that, and what they did is they wanted it, and they wanted to sell it to Europe because Europe needed something to actually produce garments. We just grew it because it was just naturally grown. We didn't care for it. But the reason I said that about the phrase picking cotton is because they created a story to tell melanated people, yeah, you a cotton picker, you a cotton picker. I'm the farmer. We're the farmers. We're the ones who farmed it. Agriculturally, that's something that we did. The only thing is when they saw it, then they wanted to start invading. And they started sliding in. And they started doing agreements with us. Hey, let us on your land, and we'll just use this. We'll just use this. Because to us, it was just a plant that grew just like everything else. We don't take the materialism world like how everybody else does. A lot of people, they look at the material, oh, I want to own this, own that, own this, do this, do this. You say prosperity is your divine birthright. That is a fact. But if you didn't know a birthright exists, then how are you ever going to find birthright? Prosperity. You can't find prosperity if you don't even know you had that as a birthright.
I really started learning about. No offense to anybody out here, because I've been on food stamps. Okay, but listen, I started learning about birthrights when I read the Bible, and it's like Jacob and Esau. He gave up his birthright for the food. That's what happens when you get food stamps. They will take your ass to jail. You just gave up your rights. You know. But I'm gonna touch on the trademark in your name, but I want to say that I came across certain tribes that you because your clothes they're chemically induced. They're feeding your body chemicals. So there's certain tribes you have to not wear clothes for a certain amount of days before they'll deal with you. That sounds crazy, but it's real. That's their law.
That's facts.
Yeah, that's their law.
Facts.
Yeah.
Now that he said that, there's actually frequency. So polyester has the lowest frequency, cotton has the second, linen has the highest at 50,000 watts.
So when my homie was saying, man, I had a class, people made me, well, I had somebody do it. They signed the NDAs. I didn't sign the NDA so I could bring it to my students. But higher up people that I'm dealing with, the celebrities and stuff, they're trademarking the thumbprint, okay? They're trademarking their signature, they're trademarking the thumbprint. Even your electronic signature, you need to trademark it. The stamp of your foot, you know, the sole prop, you can trademark that, you know, so they can't use your essence. I just want y'all to know that. So, you know, when you get booked in jail, they want your thumbprint and signature, right? So you can get out those contracts because you're already trademarked. So that's what I just want to know. People that know how to do it, y'all, you know, y'all can do it on your own. I offer a service, but that's my main thing right now. That's helping a lot of people. If there's any more questions, y'all.
The thumbprint, and I got you. I'll let them. The thumbprint becomes the seal of the live living man and woman. The thumbprint is your seal. You know how they got corporate seals? Well, you have your own seal, your thumbprint. Think about it. Your thumbprint is only one.
Y'all can Google my legal name. So y'all can look in the trademark engine and really just look up Jeffrey Wayne McBride Jr. If y'all are tech savvy, y'all know y'all like to do stuff on your own. You go to the trademark engine website and you see what I did. It shows all my specimens. The specimens means exhibits. It's going to show you exactly what I did. If y'all did the status correction, any of that, I took pictures of that stuff too and uploaded it and put it on there because they make you do the red thumbprint and the signature. You know, but when they photocopy it, it is black and white. But I suggest you know, black and white is so. If y'all understand the Bible, you know when Jesus spoke, it was in red letters, right? That's how you know you're alive. So I want y'all to understand. Black and white means death. You know, when you're dealing with the IRS, they deal with dead entities. Corporation, courts means dead body. Ation means action. A corporation is a dead body. So I need y'all to understand that it's your intellectual. You know that straw man that they talk about. That's your intellectual property. You're protecting the name. You're handing down the legacy. Michael Jordan is a business. Donald Trump is a business. Those are names of the business. Your name is a business in America. If you're not controlling it, you're working for somebody else. You're an employee. You don't want to be an employee situation. You want to be in an entrepreneur aspect. That's how you want to look at things. You're an entrepreneur for that name. You're working for the name. And you can't really own it because it was given to you. You can only control what you create. In the same way with all these paperworks, I hear a lot of people talk about these UCC ones. This stuff upsets me. I don't even talk to people. I might block you. I don't want to talk about no UCC one. I don't want to talk about it. That's not what I talk about. Because if you want to learn how to do it correctly, see what Trump did. I mean, that's just what I'm doing. He's not putting it in his name. You know, so that's called alter ego doctrine. If you look up alter ego, you can't make your name a business and still try to collect. Be the beneficiary. You want to be the trustee. I manage the name, but I work for the holding company. You know, I'm a manager for the holding company. The holding company is the single member of my name. And then you can have the family trust, be the beneficiary owner of your holding company. There's layers to that. And if you're rocking with me tomorrow, Sunday's going to be open to everybody that signed up with Sunday. And I'm going to let Chief just take the floor with that. So y'all are definitely going to be privileged if you get to come Sunday. I'm looking forward to it myself. I didn't have to pay a ticket though. But tomorrow I'm gonna break down other places that me and him have talked about, and I loved his perception on everything. But we're still pushing forward because you know you can become nationals in different countries. They're accepting us with no pushback, no nothing. They do background checks. You know, it doesn't. I mean, as long as you're not active, got some Crime means hurting a person, damaging property. I haven't had nobody say they ain't got accepted yet. Just put it like that. My guy back there got his approved. He's good too. So there's people back here that actually got it and is utilizing that. But we have other countries too that's working with it. And he's sitting down talking to the government, boy, code. But I'm also going to show you cheap. I'm finding cheap offshore trusts, offshore holding companies, and offshore trusts. Because where I'm looking at these countries at first, they're charging me $10,000 to $15,000. All right, now we're finding things. His quote was $3,000. I'm doing one trust, and it's $1,000. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, and that's where I'm at. Whether that's the stuff I'm moving forward in, like he said, checking every box. You don't want to argue with these people. You don't want to buck the system. Like he said, it's my right to drive. Peaceful compliance, man. You do things that they understand and understand too, that they can't argue with you about. So that's my main thing. Nobody owes you nothing, but they do. But you have to go out there and get it. So I actually have a student that she don't drive trucks at all, but she has a truck company, but she did it under a nonprofit, her 501c1 ministry trust. And then you bring the ministry trust over, that it owns the nonprofit in the public, and you just put the truck under the public nonprofit.
Also put the CDL as that particular number as a Schedule A as property.
It's a contract.
So it's a contract, right? So if you got a CDL, then that means you working for the family. And
That makes sense, bro. Yeah, that makes total sense to me. As priest, what he's doing. So I want you to know my dude Equity back here. He spoke on my last event. This is like, I would say he's like my protege. He coming up, man. He doing this thing. Literally, when y'all hear his story, it's mind blowing, man. It's mind blowing. But tune into the podcast similar to mine. But I'm saying, man, he'll answer questions and stuff. If you're in the private meetings, he's gonna be there assisting me. But I'm gonna bring him up. So y'all know y'all have. I'm just one man. So y'all have other people that y'all can connect with that I actually trust. That's doing credit. He does credit too. That's how he came in the game. He's got rid of court cases too by making the name a business. So I want you to know, if y'all need testimonials and people like that that's done it and has worked it their way, because they see something different. They see the world different. But I want y'all to understand this too. I help people that don't know what is going on, and they beat these cases. They get rid of. They don't know what's going on. They just got the faith. So you create the vision. Where the people lack a vision, they perish. So you just have to know who you are. Create the vision. If stuff's not working for you, dream bigger. You're not dreaming big enough. That's why stuff sucks for you. Dream bigger. Everybody in here is probably a leader or an indigo child. There's something special about you. Might be a couple feds in here. But other than that, everything,
so you see how he said dream bigger, right? There was a saying that I used to say back in the day, and because he said it, it actually came back to me. I tell people dreams are for free. So don't dream cheap. Dreams are free. So don't dream cheap.
I want to say something before we leave. I want to say, okay, we on the way. In my book, How to Manifest Instantly, I talk about knowing. Okay, I don't believe in thinking. Thinking, when you think something, you cause anxiety. Okay, so I know how to cure anxiety through thinking. Okay, anything that you think of, it don't exist. When you think, it don't exist. Anything that's uneducated don't exist. Anything that don't exist is not there. Okay, you must know. You must know what you're doing. You gotta know. Life is in a yes or no. When you start thinking too much and things start bothering you, mentally, it's because it's unknown. You don't really know deep down inside. So I don't like to think, and I don't like for anyone else to think. I want you to know, life is in a yes or no. Life is in twos. Life is what you make it. Life is easy and life is simple. So when you know, it cuts the middleman, it cuts the maybes out, it cuts everything out, and it's like life is in twos. It's up, down, it's left, right, it's forward, back, it's on and off. Okay, it's 2 feet, two ears, 2 eyes, 2 lips. Everything is really in twos. Okay, and when you start to make your life simple, life becomes very easy for you. Okay, um, example. I go to my mom and dad and I say, Mom and Dad, I would like y'all to come to my high school graduation. Uh, my mom tells me she's coming, and my dad tells me he might come. Okay, now for 2 weeks I go to school. My friends are all in school saying my mom and dad is on the way. My mom is coming. My dad is coming. For 2 weeks, for 2 weeks, I have anxiety because I don't know if my dad is coming. Now, if my dad would have told me he was coming, at least I would have known he was coming. And if he said he was not coming, at least I would have known he was coming. But when he said he didn't know he was coming, for 2 weeks in a row, I thought, I don't know if my dad is going to come. But all he had to do was just clarify it with just a yes or no. So then I could have went 2 weeks of not having bad anxiety, of thinking that he was going to come because I knew he was going to come or not going to come. So I don't like to think. I like to know exactly what I'm going to do. So when someone makes my life complicated by saying I don't know or maybe, I make them answer the question because I don't want to go 2 weeks not knowing if you're going to show up or not. And that's going to cause me to now have anxiety, to overthink because I don't know. So I would like for y'all to know, on this journey, you must know what you want. You got to want your credit fixed. I can't want your credit fixed for you. I can't want you to have a better life. You must know.
Desire, not want.
Okay,
We don't
yes.
get what we want.
Well, I say this. The word reason I say that. I say the word need. I don't use that word because anytime somebody, because people don't know the difference between utilization and using. A person who utilize you, a person who use you, take advantage of you. And a person who utilize you, y'all both win at the end. Like, if you, anytime someone came to me and they said, I need you, I need you, I need you, they never gave me a choice to say yes or no. I just gotta come now. I just gotta get up. I need you right now. And I just jump up. And then we get in the car and ride down the street and he kills someone. And now I have murder or I have a robbery or something bad happened because you needed me that bad. Now the three things that I do prefer to say is these three. If a person come to you and they say, I would like your help, you feel liked. You feel like, wow, this person really liked my help. If you come to me and I say, I love your help, you're gonna feel love. Like, wow, this person really would love my help. If you come to me and I say I will want your help, at least you feel wanted in life. I feel like somebody want me to help them. But when someone come to you and they say I need your help, it automatically stops you from saying yes or no. Because if you say I would like your help, I can say, look, I know you like my help, but I can't do it right now. I'm super busy. I have a super busy life. You gave me an option to answer. Okay, so the word need is really bad when it comes to cursing yourself and knowing that I prefer someone to say they want my help, would like my help, or love my help, prefer than needing my help. Okay, so all right, so I'm pretty much done with that last
No
message.
doubt, man. Y'all good. Y'all want to ask Kenny something, man? Kenny been. Y'all put Kenny to sleep. Y'all put Kenny to sleep, man. I want y'all. Listen, man. So listen. I want to. Listen. Listen. This man is a multimillionaire. Everybody up here. I'm telling you. Listen. The man is a multimillionaire. I'm gonna say that again. Homeless. So I need y'all to know. Tap into prosperity because I'm putting it together. He might not know the private life, but I'm telling you. I learned the private life from knocking doors. I learned that if you giving the police all zeros, they not taking me to jail. When they ask for my social, I don't know. 00000. They're not gonna take me to jail. They're gonna kick me out. But every now and then you get those places that will take you to jail for soliciting without a permit. And the judge won't be in. I had all those same stories, bro. I had one person act like they sick. They kicked him out of jail though. But I just want y'all to know that's why I learned how to use private IDs. We can make our own IDs, all from sales crews. You know.
Just to add on to that part that he said, just whether it's a ministry, let's say it's not a tribe, maybe it's just your trust, maybe it's just have the protocols put in place. There needs to be protocols all the time. How to speak to people when they come up. You should have one list of how to deal with policy enforcers, another one with how to deal with, quote unquote, governmental trustees, and another way that you need to speak to sheriffs. Like, you shouldn't be really directly speaking to anybody. Somebody needs to be speaking for you from the capacity of either a nation state, a nation, or you could literally just be a minister doing ministerial duties. They're messing with you. Let them talk to the imam, the pastor, the preacher. They got to be somebody, because they want to know, are you under me, or are we standing eye to eye? Are we one and the same?
I'm tired of talking to the police for y'all. Get y'all's money up. They'll treat you different. Well, sometimes, not all the time. Just depends on where you at. But I need to smoke, so I'm gonna cut for a break, and then I was gonna do, network. Everybody can link with each other, man. Y'all wanna holler at them? Y'all wanna link with them in the private?
Shout out to the VIP people.
Yeah, everybody.
All
VIP,
the people that
shout
got
out man.
VIPs. Shout out to everybody who.
Shout out, man. Make sure y'all, if y'all didn't get the book, y'all got the books. The Follow the Yellow Brick Road. I should have enough books for everybody. If y'all don't have that book, y'all need to get the book. That's breaking everything down. I'm trying to get Kenny to talk to his people so we can get funding for a movie, man. I'm trying to get Kenny he's the only actor up here right now, man, doing big things in Hollywood and shit. So I'm just,
He funny as hell.
Hey, funny as a motherfucker. I want y'all to know, because a lot of y'all know y'all say I'm a comedian. I'm telling you, I got over those fears and phobias of public speaking.
Don't see how he do it.
Watching his old YouTubes, man. He's been in the game. I started selling door to door. Went out. Hello, Mike. 2008, and we was watching your shit, bro. Give everybody a round of applause again, man.
We taking another question, or we stop? Anybody have any other questions before we take a break?
Smoke outside, y'all. No smoking in here.
Yeah, don't make it hot. You want to know why? Number one rule of the tribe: don't fuck up the bag.
But when they come back, it's gonna be a lot of coats and a lot of cottons that smell like the aroma.
So that's called a fragrance. That's my floral fragrance.
Y'all feel like y'all got great information? Y'all glad y'all came out? Because y'all came from every where, man. Shout y'all city out. Where y'all from, man? So, who from St. Louis? Shout out St. Louis, man. I see you, man. St. Louis. Walnut. Hey, I had to get up. Hey, I was on West Florissant and Pope, bro. I was Old Fallon Park, bro. I was scared to death. I had to get up out of there. I started selling weed there. I was selling cigarillos. I was selling candy. Hey, we're known for the Tootsies, the flavored Tootsie Rolls. St. Louis sell them $1 a bag. Yeah, the fruities. $1 a bag, man. I love St. Louis, man. She's from St. Louis too. We working on some business moves. I hope you're ready, because I've been talking to my people, man. I'm looking into open up home health care facilities. I got experts on that. I'm also looking to open up a rehab, but I'm not gonna do it unless I got federal funding. Because I'm telling y'all, if y'all not gonna get with the program, I'm getting paid off y'all. So either way, y'all want to get saved, you're gonna be free, or if you're locked up, I'm gonna get paid. Either way. So that's what I'm learning, man. So I'm looking into rehabs and then halfway houses. So that's what I'm on next. But I'm everywhere. He's connected to a lot of people, man. I just want y'all to know that, man. I would you could be my manager too. But no, for real. So now I'm tapped into definitely, if y'all in hip hop, rap, I'm tapped into the people in the NFL, NBA. I'm just connecting a lot of dots, but the next step is, if y'all I make money off courses and books. So if that's what y'all want to do, if that's what interests y'all, I would love to hear from y'all and what you're trying to do with your investments, and maybe get you around the right people, and that's where we're at in podcasts. So that's what I'm investing in right now. Oh, that's not too far. That's not too far. So where else y'all from, man? We got Arizona, St. Louis. Where from? Rhode Island. Damn. Boston. Okay, shout out to Boston. Oakland. You came from Oakland? All right. Boston, y'all are assholes. No, for real, y'all are mean. Y'all are freaking mean. I understand you seem nice, man. But no, I got some students from Boston that's really fucking mean to me. They talk to me, bro, because you know I got a mouth. They talk to me bad, bro. But what you gonna do when they paying? You know what I mean? Like, she is mean. That's a woman, too. I know Kevin Garnett, though. I'm linked with Kevin Garnett. So shout out to Boston, man. I want to meet Paul Pierce next. I want to see what he got, man. Any other questions? We're going to take a break. See, I don't like that question. I tell people I don't know you, bruh. But look, so start with this one, the Follow the Yellow Brick Road. If you got $1 million worth of game, that's a good book for beginners. Because, I mean, it starts with nationality. That's how I start. It's chapter 1 is nationality. That's the order of the day. If you know that you have a nationality, you know you're gonna have different rights. And we have a mutual friend that couldn't make it. His name's Austin Hood. So literally, I'm gonna tell you, he is Hood. So I'm bringing him up because you never know the people that can actually help you in life. And I had a meeting with a public tribe, but the only thing that they're controlled with was the what's it called, the gaming commission with the gaming commission, because they got casinos. So there's, of course, you get more money. You want freedom. So that's the only thing holding them back. So it was really, the answer came through somebody he's from the hood, bro. Like, he's Hood. And I'm talking about the guy paid his attorney $3 million. He didn't pay us hardly anything. He just paid us for lunch, and Austin gave him that right answer that he was looking for. You know what I'm saying? So,
just to add on to that, you have, not only is there's more people in here, right? Everybody with, network, right? Just keep in mind when you're around people, make sure you ask the right question so you could get the right answer. Because honestly, I'm very private. I'm only doing this because of him. When he met me, he said, "Holy crap!"
I didn't know, because listen, he didn't come at me like this, man. But I knew he when he would respond to certain things I say in the class, and I'm like, I would try to force him to talk to me. I want to know who he is. And then when we was able to graduate together, and then we had to speak on a panel together. Right. And when I don't know what the questions were. Community policing. But when I heard his tribal story, and then people, because we was there with police officers, we was there with sheriffs, we was there. Because I want you to know, I ran away when Steve Mnuchin wanted me to talk to him. The fuck? I'm scared. So when I was around him and I was like, and I started speaking too. You spoke first. Yeah, they gave me the mic. So I was able to, I don't know. I was just able to feed off his energy, and I've been connected with him. Like, I looked at him totally different because I didn't know he was in tune like that. And then I met his offspring. I met his young God, and he's the same way as him. So, and they rocking our ID, everything. He's tribal. So that's something that I inspired for my family to be. So that's that.
Any other questions? Because I got to pee. I drank like 5 of these already. You want a mic?
Just like how it's structured or whatever, like how you go about the pretty much like structure about the tribal stuff. Like how do you go about it? Like, is there somewhere that like, because I know Google probably ain't gonna give you the answers, but like, how do you go in depth to like structure your tribal plan or the way you have it?
So make sure you book a consult with Chief. But in a nutshell, you can't just wake up and call yourself a chief. Right. It has to be issued through a chiefdom. which is a seat. So the word cacique meant king when translated. The Spanish actually heard that word. So cacique means chief, but it also means king. It proves royal lineage. So you can't just wake up and, even though you do have royalty in your family, but everyone in here has royalty in their family. But that question of what you asked me, the reason you don't know the answer is because you haven't been tried and true. You haven't actually went through the process. But in a nutshell, if you wanted to create your family, quote unquote family, right? That way I don't have to say clan and confuse some people. We got some new people that just walked in. If you wanted to structure your family like a tribe, then you have a trust put in place. All tribes start off as unincorporated associations, okay? They all start as unincorporated associations. When they get the federal recognition, they switch over into 501c3. So a 501c3 has no rights. If you say anything, you'll lose your tax exemption.
Politics for sure. If it's 501c3, it takes your freedom of speech away.
Takes your freedom of speech away. You can't say certain things. A lot of your churches, mosques, synagogues, etc., they're 501c3s, so 501c3s, and that's why they don't talk about anything other than what the person who has the microphone wants to talk about for the day. They don't talk civics. They don't teach you law. They don't. When you leave that mosque, church, or synagogue, did you learn how to? See, most people don't understand. Mosques were created as universities. Your church, your mosque, your synagogue, you're supposed to go there. That's the first university you're supposed to go. You're supposed to learn civics, nationality, and commerce. But you go into these places and people are just spitting game. And then you leave and you're like, yeah, I feel good. But you're still broke. You still ain't got no job. You do, but you're just working paycheck to paycheck trying to just pay the bills. So structure your trust, move. Then you'll learn other things. I always tell people, check the boxes. I'm the master. I'm the king of checking the boxes. Because if you check the boxes, then there's no reason for anybody to mess with you. So number one, for you, if you wanted to structure your family like a tribe, have a trust. Use a family trust, right? So have a private trust so that private trust can now create. So the private trust will create the family business trust. And now you work for the family. Structure that right. Have everybody's businesses under that family trust. That's kind of like a operating company. And your private trust would be your holding company, but it'll be in a trust. I function more of trust. He does both. I do both too, but I function more on the trust side. He does more. He's teaching y'all how to do it, the LLCs, because once you learn the business side, when you start talking about trust, it's way easier. Way easier. So just structure how you want. So that means even your child. Like my son has a PS5. He knows that if he doesn't clean up his room, because his PS5 is a Schedule A, so it's trust property. And him being the beneficiary, he gets the PS5. It's an asset. There's value. Right? But if he don't do what he got to do, what the trustee's going to do? Trustees is going to take the PS5 right back. Why? Because it belonged to the trust. It don't belong to you. My whole house runs like that.
Hey, I like that shit.
Put everything under the Schedule A. Even your driver's license off the record.
I hope y'all know what that means. I'm about to go though. We're about to take a break. But the Schedule A that's where you put your trust property. That's what you put your assets. Not in the IRS Schedule A. In your private family Schedule A, private clan Schedule A. We're taking a break, man. Take 15, 20.